What's up, y'all? You already know who it is, bro. We on the Brick Brothers podcast. I'm glad y'all joining in. But hey, look, before we get started, right, make sure that y'all like, subscribe, share this video. Right now it's gonna be a quick episode, man, but y'all lock in with us. We got a lot to talk about, man, when it comes to the next fights that's coming up. You already know that last little fight card that we watched, trash as hell, man. So, man, let's get into it, man. We got a big card, though, coming up. We got Du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya, you know what I mean? The real African, you know what I'm saying? The real African belt on the line. So, bro, like, who you think right there is going to get it? Du Plessis right now, on the tear, definitely, you know what I'm saying? Really showing the world that, definitely world champion material. But is he talking about he want his belt back?
It's funny. Like I said, every single time Du Plessis fights, I remember we were for International Fight Weekend a couple years ago.
Yeah.
He fought, who did he fight?
He fought my man, not Brad Tavares? Was it
Brad Tavares. Perfect.
Yep.
And I was watching the fight, and he was beating Tavares or whatever, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But ever since then, every fight, I've been like, he finna lose, and he always win.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stick with that.
Whoa, you said you gonna stick with?
I'm sticking with the same tradition today. If I had like poker chips, I'm tripling down. I lost every other one, but we finna try to see if I'm a win on this one.
I ain't gonna lie to you, that's when we could bet. That was my first little parlay where I was able to bet on some fights, man. I put 100 down, whatever, and I was able to win like 14,000 or something like that.
More than that.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So look, and it's my fault, right? Because me paying attention to shit I shouldn't be paying attention to. So, we was running through the fights, you know what I'm saying? And my number one rule, you know what I'm saying? I don't ever pick old motherfuckers. I don't ever pick the females. No disrespect to the females, you know what I'm saying? But, it's always a toss-up to me, right?
50-50.
It's always a 50-50 coin toss, so I leave the girls alone, and I leave them old niggas alone. But when I was doing my little picks, because, it's on the touch screen, Yeah. And I'm going through my picks, and I'm just, taking my time. We out there in Vegas, so I see a little situation, and I'm like, God dang, and I keep rolling, keep boom, boom, and I'm, picking my picks. So as soon as I pull out my ticket, like, I'm already on the strength. Like, bro, it's Alexander Volkanovski that I picked. I had Izzy picked. I had my man Jalen Turner picked. So DDP had my man picked. You know what I'm saying? So I had a good little list of people, man.
You had O'Malley too.
I had O'Malley, but they got overturned though, right? But regardless though, I had a good list. I think I had down there 9 fights on there. You know what I'm saying? If not 10. But then when we got to the motherfucking event, I'm seeing all these wins. I'm like, bro, all my people winning. It's all dubs and shit. I'm like, let me check my ticket, dog. And what was the fight on there, nigga?
You had Donald Cerrone?
Man, no, it wasn't Donald Cerrone.
No, it was John Cerrone.
No.
Robbie Lawler.
It was Robbie Lawler versus Brian Barberena.
Yeah.
When I look at that motherfucker, bro, I was so pissed. Your ass was like, bro, you good, bro. You good. Robbie gonna win this one, bro. I promise you. I'm like, no, he ain't, bro. No, he ain't. But regardless, though, the fight happened. Robbie was doing good.
He was.
First 2 rounds, giving Brian Barberena that work, you know what I'm saying? Beating him up real good. And then Robbie started to slow down.
Hey, time undefeated, man.
And he started to get hurt. And then he dropped down to his knees. And then I seen my ticket just go away just like that, you know what I'm saying? But then you brought up a good point. You was like, well, even though he lost don't mean the rest of your people gonna win. Everybody else won. So Robbie Lawler definitely dropped the bag on me. But, regardless though, man, I'm glad they did that, man, because, I feel like it been a waste of my money though. You know what I'm saying? Me trying to bet on these fights and then motherfuckers down there get slept for no reason, dog. So, I'm gonna be trying to hunt them down and try to fight them because, you know what I'm saying? They fucked my bag up,
Man, he tried.
He did try, though. He didn't try hard enough.
But going back to what I'm saying, like, DDP is one of those fighters I still just, if you saw my most confusing list, he just confused me. I don't understand what he brings. Pace and cardio, I see that being an area of strength for him. And he hits hard. He has a lot of power. He's a strong guy. Mm-hmm. If he can mix in some takedowns, but the only way I feel like if Izzy loses this fight, if he fights too emotional with all the I'm the real African champion, all the antics and all this. But I think he takes it serious. Izzy on his best day and Du Plessis on his best day. I see Izzy winning, but I've been wrong every other time, so don't listen to me.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I think DDP definitely gonna go out there, man. Have a situation for Izzy that he ain't never seen before. I think Du Plessis, bro, just his power alone is really gonna shut down Izzy, bro. Izzy has a great stand up when it comes to chopping legs down and, just keeping the fight where he wants to. Du Plessis not finna do that, bro. He finna just run straight at Izzy, man. And I think it's gonna be too much pressure for Izzy to deal with. And with that pressure that we seen Sean Strickland put on him, I think Du Plessis can do it even better, you know what I mean? And especially with the threat of the takedown, because if I'm not mistaken, I don't even think Sean Strickland shot in the first fight. right? I don't even think he shot for a takedown in that first fight. But you see the pressure that he put up against Izzy up against the cage. If Du Plessis is able to do that same thing, but add it with the wrestling, well, I think Izzy gonna have a long night, bro. Yeah. So I'm going with DDP. Yeah.
Unofficial bet.
Yeah. Unofficial bet.
What else on that card?
Kai France and what's it? Steve
Erceg.
Yeah.
Now who we fighting? Steve Erceg.
Kai France.
I'm going with Steve Erceg, bro.
Same, but see, yet again, Kai France is one of them dudes who I feel like obviously is talented, but the fights I think he gonna dominate. He get his ass whooped, and then the times where I think he finna lose, he always win. So I'm gonna, like I said, double and triple down. I'm still go with Steve Erceg.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna double down with you, triple down. Yeah, Steve Erceg. I can see Steve Erceg putting on a good little clinic with Kai France. No disrespect to him, Kai like a tough fighter, like for real. Definitely at the 125 division, but Steve Erceg, I just believe like just where he at technically. I think he could put a little clinic on Kai because Kai kind of come too aggressive sometimes and don't have any type of defensive responsibility with keeping the hands up or just checking his own pace and cardio, right? He'll put himself in a situation where he tire himself out. You know what I mean? But I see Steve Erceg, really, putting the jab on him, using the boxing. And then, Steve Erceg definitely has a threat, with the ground game too. So, I can see Steve Erceg really putting in some work on this.
He looks like he's like a little bit bigger than Kai France too, just like frame-wise and body type-wise too. And he has that power where I feel like Kai France relies on his speed and his aggression and pace, and I think Erceg is just probably a little, I won't say more fine-tuned, but finds that big shot just a little better. So that's what I'm going to go with Erceg.
Let's run it.
Then Mateusz Gamrot versus Dan Hooker.
Man. You want to start on this one?
That's a good fight. I can't remember the last fight that Gamrot had, but it kind of gave me a little I don't know, a bad taste in my mouth. I can't remember the last fight that he had.
I thought he won.
He did win. He did win, but it's how he won though.
Rafael dos Anjos.
Was it Rafael dos Anjos?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can't remember exactly how that fight played out, but regardless with Dan
third round
Hooker
decision.
Third round decision.
Yeah, he got a decision.
It
was unanimous though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless though, with Dan Hooker, Dan Hooker's always gonna be a good play. Definitely with his striking. Tough dude, very durable. But Gamrot might do the same thing what he did to RDA. Just hold him, put him on his back, and we'll see another unanimous decision. So probably not a very exciting fight to put together. But if Dan Hooker can avoid some of them takedowns, he can probably unleash some good damage. Before you get taken down and put on his back.
I mean, without looking at numbers, and that's kind of how I really, really gauge whatever. If I had to pick, I go Gamrot only for one reason. I feel like this fight is probably going to play on the ground. It's not going to be a striking bout. And Dan Hooker has had some problem with grapplers before. Gamrot, in my opinion, you have Islam Makhachev, you have Armin Sarukian, you have Benil Dariush, and you have Gamrot, who are all elite level grapplers. And I see all.
And he fought them all too.
Yeah, some of them. I don't remember all of them, but just a similar style to give him problems. And I think, unless he knocks out Gamrot, I don't see what he could do. Like, I think he could, obviously land strikes from range or whatever, and he's a vicious finisher, but I think it's gonna play it on him.
He gonna have to find his shot.
So period. I'm gonna say Gamrot by submission. I'm gonna say Gamrot by submission.
I'm gonna go by decision though.
All right, so let's look at the next couple names. It's a different card, but this one's a fight night. Cannonier versus Caio.
Crazy. That's a crazy fight.
That is it's actually a fire ass fight, man. I got to train with Caio at the PI. I don't know if y'all seen them videos. I was swinging and banging. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. It was a good little matchup. Caio thought he had an easy little lick. You know what I'm saying? He trying to.
But he did.
He trying to, huh?
But he did though.
What you mean? Shit, boy. Anyways, though, but shout out to him because at the end of the day, all work is good work. Like I keep saying. Because I feel like a lot of guys at the PI or in Vegas, man, like that's the greatest or the best opportunity to get in and work with, several individuals, you know what I mean? Especially whatever, if you want to learn or if you want to challenge yourself, that's the best place to do it, man, is to work with another elite high level guy. So for Caio to give me the opportunity and me, also blessing them with some work, we learned a lot. So with that being said, with him going up with Jared Cannonier, I can see a lot of difficulties he can have with Jared Cannonier on the feet, because Jared is just a little bit taller, a little bit more longer than me when it comes to the reach, and is a very good technical boxer. If Caio is able to switch it up a little bit, and use his strength, which is his grappling, which is his submissions, he can probably give Jared Cannonier some problems. But he going through a lot, man. Definitely with fighting with the killer gorilla and Jared Cannonier, so he dealing with a lot. But if he's able to get through that test, Caio, that next dude, for sure.
Well, here's my take. Jared Cannonier's just getting up there in age. He's not a young man. Fighters who are fighting 85 and above, it doesn't seem to be nearly as big of a factor. But Caio, as talented as he is, and youth kind of be on his side, I think if there's grappling involved, he'll have a lot of success. But this is the toughest test of Caio's career for sure. He's fighting a legitimate contender. And, I'm not willing to put that label on Jared right now as far as being past his prime and not able to do it. So I think if the best Jared Cannonier is going to be there, I think that's too much because I don't see him. Caio, his grappling is really good, but it's more jiu-jitsu based. It's not necessarily wrestling based. Yeah. So I think it's going to be a striking bout, and both have power and both have. But I think Jared's just a little bit more fine too. So I take Jared Cannonier by decision.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. No, that's a good pick right there.
All right, and then Big Dubs in the chat, he was asking about Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. How do you see that going down?
A hugging fest. Lay on your back, you know what I'm saying? Pray that the judges, you know what I'm saying, see it in your favor. I believe just, Burns and Brady, man, I think they literally just made like a non-verbal agreement that they finna wrestle and do a jiu-jitsu match, bro. Like, that's just how I see that fight. I don't see this fight being on, a straight war, straight bang on the feet, because obviously, man, they both got pillow hands, you know what I'm saying? I don't think Gilbert really be laying niggas out like that, you know what I'm saying? Who the last dude he laid out?
I don't remember.
It was probably at 155, nigga, with his weak ass. And Sean Brady definitely ain't knocking nobody out on the feet. So, yeah, we definitely finna watch a good jiu-jitsu match. You can learn a lot, though, in this one. Yes, you can definitely learn a lot in this one if you watch.
JDM, he TKO'd him?
JDM TKO'd who?
Oh, he got TKO'd by...
No, I wouldn't... who Gilbert Burns knocked out? Where his knockouts at? Where his finishes at? He got one. You got to go way back to 155.
Neil Magny?
Nah, I ain't talking about no subs. I'm talking about good.
We're going back to 2021. Going back to
lightweight. It's probably in his lightweight.
You can just pull up his whole fight history.
I know. Yeah,
he's going by year.
I'm going by year.
He's going by year.
Oh man. Damian Maia. Back in 2020.
Oh, okay. All
right. So
knocked out a jiu-jitsu nigga, crazy.
It's in similar fashion. I'm gonna say Gilbert Burns by TKO. I'm gonna say that.
Gilbert Burns by TKO.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Hey, look.
He just told you.
No. I just gotta repeat it. I ain't know.
No. I look. I hear what you're saying, but it ain't like Bilal was spinning around everybody at 170 neither, and he put out Sean Brady. I think if Bilal can do it, I think Gilbert Burns could do it.
I don't know. So you miss what I'm saying?
No, I get exactly. Go ahead, repeat.
But Bilal, at the end of the day, he was standing with him and putting them pillow hands on him and still got him out of there, right? So I heard what you're saying. I just don't think Gilbert gonna do the same. And I believe once the fight gets to the ground, it's literally gonna be a hug fest. I don't even think Gilbert gonna try to posture up and try to. Matter of fact, we didn't even see it with JDM. He took JDM down. I think every shot he made, like he got, you know what I'm saying, like 100% like shot rate. That's what Gilbert Burns got. But he ain't beat up JDM when he was on the ground. He just held him. So with Sean Brady, that being said, with him being so, I guess, strong and in a position where, is able to get back onto his feet, I think Gilbert Burns would be more concerned of holding him down and trying to beat him down. That's just my opinion.
I don't think he's gonna wrestle though. I think usually when we see two really good grapplers, it's always a striking match.
We're gonna see.
For some reason. And I don't think Sean Brady has the wrestling to take down Gilbert Burns. It don't seem like he has a really good offensive wrestling base. Great top pressure, good top game, but not necessarily
I can see seeing one of them slip on the logos. One of them gonna slip on the logos, nigga fall on the ground, nigga.
You just don't like him, but that's respect. That's hella funny.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. What's next?
I was gonna say. I think didn't we talk about O'Malley and Merab last week?
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
Any thoughts on Grasso and Shevchenko?
Oh yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's on the no check card, ain't it?
Yep.
Yep, that's on the no trade card. Who actually
306.
306. So who is the final main event for that? I don't know if we talked about that though.
Yeah,
Did we talk about that?
It's
So
It
so
is
it's
Sean
not,
O'Malley and
it's Murray.
That's what they
Make
have.
sure.
I was gonna
Yes.
say,
That's the main event.
wasn't it gonna be Holloway and then
Topuria.
but then they might have changed it.
Yeah, they changed it.
Yeah, so it's gonna be O'Malley, Marab. No Mexicans there, as far as I
Alex
guess
Grasso.
O'Malley. Well, I mean, like for the main
But-
event.
Yeah, nah.
Whatever. You got to sell a card through it.
Right, shit. You ain't got no
You
choice.
can't just throw 2 random Mexican dudes in the cage because that's crazy work. Like you got to have good fighters.
That would be crazy. But regardless, I mean, Alex Grasso, I mean, they should have gave the respect and just gave their ass the main event, to be honest with you. Because it ain't like Valentina, ain't, you know, like Valentina known, like she a big star. You know, Alex Grasso, she's still building up her name as well, but right now she the champion. She a world champion. So they definitely should have gave them a little main event, little situation. But regardless, between those two ladies, it's gonna be a good fight, man. This what, the 4th meeting between both of them? Yeah, I think this is the 4th fight.
What?
4th. Is it the 3rd or the 4th?
This is the second.
No, it ain't the 2nd. She won. She beat her twice. So never mind. So this is the 3rd. This is the 3rd. She beat Alex Grasso.
Can we fact check that?
Yeah, you can fact check. If it ain't 4, it's the 3rd. If it ain't 4, it's the 3rd.
I think you doing some multiplication.
And probably.
It's 2.
It's the second one, yeah.
One was
No.
a draw though.
So hold on.
2023.
So yeah. So I knew that. Yeah. So it ain't.
So this the third.
It's the 3rd. So
Third.
yeah, don't be playing with me like
So
that,
this the
nigga.
third. I'm like,
Oh, that's it. My fault.
It's goofy. So the first one, she tapped her ass out.
and then the second one.
And then the second one was a major draw, and now it's the 3rd one. So yeah, we gonna finish this off on a good trilogy. Regardless of that fact, though, I like the fight for both of them. You know, they didn't had enough time in the cage with one another going into the 5th round in both fights. So I really feel like in this situation right here, you know, it's just really down to grit on who wanted the most. Valentina, obviously, with her striking and her movement and her kicks and everything that she does, she's always gonna be a problem. But you know, Alexa Grasso, she ain't afraid to stand with nobody. You know, and I love her boxing. Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up. I think she got some of the best hands in the female division right now. Definitely with her combinations and good power too, as well. But I would like to see Valentina start to be a little bit more aggressive in the fight. And what I mean by that is not just with the strikes, man. I want to see Valentina, you know, turn into a mixed martial artist as well. I want to see Alex Grasso on for her back, you know, or on her back, you know, and see what Valentina is able to take advantage of, or just at least tire her out just a little bit, and then see what, you know, on the feet looks like.
Well, I think that's where some of the problem is for Valentina. Usually she times in takedowns and she makes it a competitive mixed martial arts fight where she's beating people up on the feet. She's using those trips and those throws and able to control it. But I think Alexa Grasso and her are just very evenly matched. Where it's like, you know, the scramble scenario situation, that's where she got caught last time. You know, she like introduced the grappling and then gets submitted, or the first time rather. But anyway, I think it's just an interesting fight when you fight somebody a couple of times and everybody knows. Well, both fighters know what each one is good at. It makes for a very compelling fight. So it's going to be hard. I think with seeing what as much as I saw, I think it's just really hard to get your belt back off of that time. So I just lean towards Alexa Grasso. But I think Valentina is one of the best women to ever do it, of course.
Most def.
So we got one more fight that we'll break down, and then we'll move to pound for pound because that'll be interesting for the fans. So we got Brian Ortega and Diego Lopez on that card.
Say it one more time.
Brian Ortega and Diego Lopez.
That's also on the no trade card. So I don't know, man. We seen what happened the first time. My man got a stomach ache, you know, right before the fight. He promised his little purse, you know, about 100,000. So once he showed up, you know what I'm saying, that he was off weight, you know, he already had to give up 50,000. So, you know, that's a good bag. So I don't know. We'll see. It's nothing to really talk about with that fight. I think Diego is one of the up and coming stars, you know, definitely in the UFC. And Brian Ortega, he done shown that, you know, he can put up good fights. But I think it's time for Brian Ortega to either move up or, you know what I'm saying, or get on that retreat, be a part of that cult that he wanted to be a part of. You know what I'm saying?
You tweaking. I think Brian Ortega is one of the best featherweights in the game, honestly. Aside from his fight against Max Holloway, that really stands out. You know, him kind of getting outclassed in that fight, man. He's had great performances against everybody. Even against Yair Rodriguez, he ended having that ankle issue right before, and then, you know, coming back and being Yair. And I thought Yair, you know, his skills stack up well against anybody. The thing that Diego Lopez has on the side is that strength. I think the jiu-jitsu is going to be kind of a wash. You know what I'm saying? Brian Ortega's like, to me, the longer fighter. I think Diego Lopez has to close the distance, to make that fight competitive. But, I think it's a toss-up. I'm going to lean with Brian Ortega just because I've seen him fight the better competition. And then I know it was super short notice, but Dan Ige gave him a lot of problems. It was like
I can't even play with that, because that would give anybody issues, bro. Like, you literally talking about 4 hours notice. Like, ain't got much time to prepare.
Oh, true.
Even with Dan Ige didn't have to cut any weight. He just walked into the fight.
And
so
Dan Ige
you still had Diego.
Dan Ige super good himself too. So
exactly, because that's the thing about a lot of those guys that's in Vegas. They stay training, they stay ready. And that's the reason why they out there for opportunities like that. So I really can't put much against Diego. And then like I said, bro, real G for even taking the fight. He didn't have to do it. He could have waited for Noche, and be like, hey, bro, let me get Brian Ortega when he ready. But he decided to take the fight. And if anything, I would say like Diego kind of pushing because like just having that fight and then having right back to another where Brian Ortega he gets to have this time where okay, I get to sit back and do it because yet again, what about 8-10 pounds that he missed? So it's really like you didn't even put in work to even cut the weight. No, I'm being 100 because I would hate for somebody to do me like this, right? So my situation is like now that the fight then got remade, yeah, that's cool and all, but you didn't even have the effort to try to cut the weight, and now you still got all this energy.
You still because you sick?
Nah, he wasn't sick, bro. Nah. He was sick. He was sick about to give that money up, bro. You think I'm playing? Like that's literally what it was. He seen that. Okay, look, I'm about to miss this weight. Then I promised that 100,000. Like, nigga, I have a bellyache too. Like, damn, I sure do gotta get this money, okay? Even if I win or lose, I promise these motherfuckers get their money. Nah, I'm just, bro, I'm be on the toilet for a little minute. But regardless of all of that, figured all of that.
Who your official pick?
Exactly, right. Getting on Diego, I think it's just a fight for him to win, and it's a good fight for him. But yet again, I don't think Brian Ortega, it just, to my opinion, shouldn't be fighting at that weight class. I think he should move up. I think Brian Ortega should definitely move up to 155.
He only missed when he took it on short notice.
I don't care what man look.
He took the fight on short notice himself.
So you got Diego?
Huh?
You got Diego?
Yeah, I got Diego.
He took the fight on short notice.
How many short? How long was the short notice? What?
They took it like a week's time. I think it was like 5 days.
Nah, it wasn't a week's time.
No, because neither one of them was supposed to fight.
Neither one of them was supposed to fight because they both got put on. But it was like 3 weeks time.
What was the I forget what the original fight was, but neither one of them was supposed to.
Yeah, be honest with you, yet again, what you just said, they just threw a card on her. They didn't have to throw them on her.
Yeah. But it was
Alex Pereira. It was supposed to be Conor McGregor.
So they need a big.
So they just threw them niggas on her just to throw their ass on. But regardless,
well, you know what I'm saying though. Like it's not like he had 6 weeks to prepare. He never missed weight before. He fought the best of the best. He fought Volkanovski. He fought Holloway. Then he fight Korean Zombie. Like he fought everybody.
Okay, yeah, he fought everybody. What that
so
mean?
He never missed weight when he fought them. Why he got to move up?
Nah, man, I'm just saying like when you miss by that much, bro, it's time to move on up, dog. It's time to move on up.
But
dog.
Anyway, like I said, my official pick, I'm gonna take Ortega by decision.
Okay.
All right. So before the podcast started, we kind of got into the difference between pound for pound and GOAT. So can you break that down for the fans a little bit before we get into the rankings?
I got you. Pound for pound is current body of work. What have you done recently? Your current streak. Like what have you done recently against the crop of your peers? And then GOAT is just overall performance from your whole entire career. So the way I make the distinction, because everybody knows the elephant in the room, John Jones. John Jones is, by most people's account, the GOAT. Respectable pick, not my personal pick, but it's not a bad answer at all. Great fighter.
All-time. Boy, they gonna give you some shit in the comments. Boy, you say that shit,
I don't care. All-time great. It's just not my pick.
How is John Jones not on your GOAT list?
No, I didn't say he's not my GOAT list. He's not my GOAT, my number one. He's not. That's cool. Mm-hmm. But he's not pound for pound number one because he's only beaten like one guy who's currently active in the UFC. Most of his fights came a long time ago. We can't be talking about Rashad Evans. You fought him when I was in middle school. Like, that don't count. Like, I'm not finna, you beat Vladimir Mateuszchenko, you beat Stephan Bonner. What that got to do with today? Like, they're not in the UFC.
Usually they talk Reyes, Santos.
Reyes, that man went on a 5-fight losing streak. He just won his first fight in 7 years.
I mean, John Jones kind of caused that. You can make
you can't cause nobody to lose to somebody else. That's not a real stat.
Yeah,
My point,
that ain't how that works.
that's what they're gonna say.
But that don't make it true. My point being is you have guys. Alex Pereira is not an all-time GOAT to me. He's not. He doesn't replace a John Jones. He doesn't replace a George St. Pierre. He doesn't replace so many names on the list. But right now, pound for pound, he's super high on the list. Islam Makhachev, because their current body of work, the last 2, 3 years, 4 years, is way better than John Jones. You can have a better year than somebody, but not be a better fighter than them. And pound for pound is referring to how you're faring against your peers today, not what you did in the past.
Okay, so that being said, we're gonna give the top 15, but would John Jones be in your list of top 15 or no?
I mean, you could put him there, but I feel like just his inactivity is hard to put him there. Beating Ciryl Gane, to me, doesn't make you a pound for pound top. But since he's as good as he is, that's why they put him there. It's not his current body of work. You beating Daniel Cormier, like 6 years ago at this point, or 5 years ago, and then beating Ciryl Gane, that's not stacking up against a lot of people's resume today. But he's an all-time great. That's why he's there.
Okay. Buck, you see pound for pound similar sort of way?
I mean, that's the only way that you can see. It's about currently what you're doing right now. Like, Alex Pereira, that's my pound for pound right now. That shit crazy. I put him over Islam. It's like, regardless of what anybody say, is like my man said, it's what you currently doing. What have you done for me lately? So when I'm seeing and watching shit, bro, what Alex Pereira been doing, and then hopping on into these cards, taking these threatening fights, bro, like with Jamal and with Yuri Prohaska on last minute notice, saving cards, that's what makes you a pound for pound fighter, you know what I mean? And then on a winning streak, you know what I mean? Beating world champions at that too, you know, on top of that. Islam is definitely a savage as well, but what he beat? Alex Volkanovski, and then who else? It was one more.
But Dustin Poirier,
right?
Charles Oliveira recently.
So yeah, well that's how he won the belt, you know. But regardless of that though, my man Alex Pereira has multiple champions that he has beaten, you know what I'm saying, in a very short amount of time. Like, that body of work within that time frame is crazy.
Speaking of which, did you see DC's comments on? They said they're trying to protect Alex Pereira. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, they already did what they did. I think 205. He taking a lot off. He taking out a lot of guys at 205, but at 185, they definitely protected him from a couple guys. In my personal opinion, like, you know, Alex Pereira should have fought these 3 guys. You know what I mean? Even if he would have won, he still should have fought them. Robert Whitaker, Marvin Vettori, and Jared Cannonier, right? Because those were the guys that was right underneath Izzy. Those are the guys that lost to Izzy, but at the same time, like, those are the guys that are proven. If you beat them, this is why you should fight for the belt. But he beat who for the belt? Strickland. Strickland made him jump up I don't know how many places, right? Because I don't even know Strickland was up there high. I think Strickland was like number 9. And then he was able to fight for a belt. That's kind of crazy, you know what I mean? So you skip past all them other people from 2, 3, 4, you know what I mean? And you go straight to the belt. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Is it a case of protecting him or just making the biggest fight?
Making the biggest fight.
But it's protecting business. Like, this is what I say. Like, and I use this as an example, a bigger example, but the closest to it. Conor fought Dennis Seaver. He ends up beating Dennis Seaver. Then he jumps up in the rankings. Dennis Seaver is ranked like number 11. I think Conor was 13 at the time. Anyway, long story short, he fights Chad Mendes. He's supposed to fill in for a title fight. He ends up fighting Chad, beats Chad, and then he beats Aldo for the title, right? But he never fought Frankie Edgar. You can say all the guys at the time he was supposed to fight, and then kind of said, you know what, I'm done with that. I'm moving up to 55. Kind of just did whatever he wanted to do. I won't say that they were protecting him from Frankie Edgar, who probably was a worse matchup for Conor at the time. Nobody cared about Frankie Edgar fighting Conor except hardcore MMA fans. That's something I wanted to see. But what's more interesting, him fighting RDA, because that was what it's supposed to be. RDA was the champ at the time. And then he fought Eddie Alvarez. That made no sense. It's just big business. Yeah. It's not about protecting. It's like, what's going to sell more?
And I mean, be honest with you. So just imagine if Alex Pereira would have fought those 3 guys I mentioned and lost, then we would have never seen this situation that would have occurred. And guess what? At the end of the day, people wasn't impressed by Izzy. Like, even though he was winning, people still like, bro, like, you giving a snooze fest, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, your walkouts are more entertaining than your fights, and that's a problem. So they had to find somebody in a situation where, okay, at least we don't know if he gonna beat Izzy, but we know that he's gonna be a major threat. This is the last person that had gotten a win over Israel Adesanya, you know what I'm saying, in kickboxing. So he somewhat has a chance. So let's give him the best chance that he got. He still got to prove himself. With 3 wins within the promotion and beating a ranked guy, as long as you got a ranking, I believe, for any opinion, that's why a lot of guys got to stop tripping. As long as you rank, you blessed. Because you can always get a opportunity to fight for a belt as long as you in the rankings. You know, I ain't never seen no unranked nigga get a belt. You know,
I have,
so.
but
Ooh,
special-
you talking about?
special
You talking,
yeah.
you talking about back then? We talking about currently now. There ain't no guys that's unranked getting the opportunity to fight.
Very uncommon in the whole history of the UFC.
Right.
Okay.
But regardless, though, you know, as long as you got a ranking, you always had the opportunity to fight for a belt. It doesn't matter for you fighting 8 or just fighting up that ladder, unless you know what I'm saying. The UFC don't like your ass, and you know what I'm saying. You just got to fight as hard as you can. But hey, that's gonna make you undeniable, though. You know, Bilal. But regardless, though, you know, I feel like in this situation for Alex Pereira, definitely a pound for pound. Then they go Islam Makhachev.
Yeah, I can run through the list if you want.
You can.
But I want to get like who's too high on the list, who's too low on the list, who shouldn't be on the list, and who should.
Man, if your ass ain't got a belt, get your ass off the list.
All right, so let me run through the 15 real quick.
Man, get your ass off the list.
So Makhachev, Pereira, Jones, Topuria, Bilal Muhammad, O'Malley, Edwards, Volkanovski, Aspinall, Holloway, Du Plessis, Pantoja, Adesanya, Strickland, and then Oliveira at 15.
I don't think it should be that many. 15 pound for pound is crazy.
It don't matter though. It's the whole UFC roster. But my whole thing is, you already know who the number one name who's probably rated too highly or might possibly not deserve to be there is John Jones due to inactivity. It's not Hayden. If John Jones win John Jones, he would have been stripped for his title right now. Like, I don't know why we're pretending. When's the last time John Jones fought? This is very abnormal, but John Jones is one of the greatest martial artists of all time, and he's going to sell against Stipe. So that's what it is, business. But if you're talking about just critiquing, like, what he's done lately, when did that fight happen with Gane?
That's been a minute, bro.
It's been years.
It's been a minute.
So, like, it's not because he's not deserving by his skill set. It's just about activity. Like, how can you can't just hold up divisions like that. But so he's number one on my list. Who's rated a little too high. Like,
What they got him number 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Like, if you haven't fought in a year or so, like, come on now.
Who else was on that list? You had that's a non-champion. Give me a non-champion that's on that list. I know Max Holloway. Volkanovski.
Is he a champ? He's not a champ, right?
Nah, it's Topuria.
No, it's Topuria right now. Give me another one. Now, like, give me the list of people that are not
Leon.
champions that's on the list.
Strickland.
Leon. Okay, Strickland. Okay.
And Volkanovski.
Okay.
Holloway's not champ.
Okay, yeah.
Oliveira.
Strickland
Okay.
for me.
Pretty much it.
Strickland for me.
Yeah,
And then-
Strickland got to get off the list.
I guess if do you count Aspinall as a champ or?
Yeah, for sure.
he the intro. Yeah, he the real champ.
And most cases, he would have just been the champion. It's not biased. Like, I think this is the longest a champion has not been stripped. I'm pretty sure it's up there. Maybe Dominic Cruz, but it's up there for sure.
And I ain't gonna lie, I'm the biggest fan of Volkanovski.
Yeah.
But he got to get off the list.
3 in a row.
Off the
Yeah, you
list
gotta get
completely.
Yeah, he's not pound for pound right now. I told you. First off, fuck the belt right now. But you can't be on a losing streak pound for pound. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
honey.
I think I can kind of agree with that a little bit. If you lost 3 in a row, it's hard to make a case.
Yeah.
200, one fight, they'll
Right. You know what I'm saying?
2 is
Put you
iffy.
right underneath the nigga you lost.
Yeah, 2's iffy. Because you might just have the best guy in the world in your weight class. Like, think about, like...
The DC John
Yeah,
Jones.
DC John Jones. You lose to John twice, that's not really a big deal. But then you lose to somebody else, yeah, you up off of there. You know what I mean? Like,
So-
you get slid again, you up out of there.
We got into it before. Should Usman be on this list at all? You said top 15.
Usman gone.
Okay.
You talk about, all right, you got Bilal now, you got Leon, so Leon can cool, but Leon cool, Leon can stay up there.
Oh, yeah, Leon
You got
too,
Leon,
yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
but Leon took his spot. I'm talking about, you know, then once that nigga take your spot, then you know you definitely gone.
And to Buck's point before, it's like, 3 fights in a row?
It's 3 fights in a row.
You up out of there. It's all-time great, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you ask who's greater, Leon or Kamaru Usman, all the time, it's Kamaru Usman. But we talking about current day. It's just what you've done lately. That's what pound for pound is. We talk like that. You can be a contender and be on the pound for pound list, but that don't put you in the GOAT conversation because you're a contender. So like, my whole thing is like Sean Strickland. I don't even like. I know his ranking is super high, but like, if you had to do a real audit of the ranking, is it really make sense that I know he was the champion, but is he really above Jared Cannonier in your eyes? Is he really above Robert Whitaker in your eyes? Is he really above like some of the cream of the crop? So I don't put him over Jared Cannonier in my opinion, and Jared Cannonier on the pound for pound list. Just because you held a belt how did you get that belt?
Right.
He was on
right.
like a 2-fight win streak when he won the belt. Like, it's,
Yeah.
I can't put you on pound for pound.
Yeah, that's
when there's guys who on 10-fight win streaks.
Because I ain't gonna lie to you, you know.
Because put you on a pound for pound list.
Shit, I'm coming.
You got a better win streak than most of the people on the list. It's just the truth. Like at some point, what you do in competition matters. Like recent, like you know what I mean. I feel like pound for pound is more of a recent current list. And then GOAT, obviously, it's just body of work.
Body of work, man. And the body work is going to last over time while pound for pound, yet again,
it's
like
recent,
you just said, it's very recent. So Leon ain't never going to be on the GOAT list. They didn't, look, Bilal done ended all that shit. Leon ain't never, just because you beat the GOAT don't make you the GOAT, cuz.
True.
Because it's about what you do. It's like it's the standard. So, you know, because I ain't going to lie, I feel like Conor could have been like the featherweight GOAT, but he, like, as soon as he won the belt, he just gave up on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never established himself. So even though he beat Jose Aldo, yeah, he beat him in 13 seconds. Don't mean nothing. But Jose was holding it down with that belt for, what, a good... Nigga said, well, no, he was the first featherweight champion.
First featherweight, but in WC, like, Jose didn't lose a fight for like 10 years.
10 years.
It was like a decade.
So Jose really put in work. So
wait.
You
So
cannot put Conor above Jose Aldo. You can't do
Are you saying fans not going to like this one, but where are you putting Conor on your GOAT list?
Nowhere.
On there or no? Not on there?
You mean GOAT for featherweight or just GOAT in general?
Yo, he's talking about GOAT in general.
In general.
You mean like a top 5?
And it's just the sad part. I'm not putting, and this is the sad part. He only GOATed because of what he been able to do for the company, the sport. That's it. That's literally like Ronda Rousey. Yep. But still, it's like
no.
You know.
So let me get this straight. You think it's a hot take that Conor is not on the pound for pound list, or not pound for pound, but
GOAT list.
GOAT list.
I think fans will say that.
Fans would definitely say
but
that.
like, I don't think there's anybody who watched the UFC pre-Conor who would say that. To me, that's crazy. Now, we had Conor get his ass slipped by Dustin Poirier like twice in a row.
Twice in a row.
You lost to Khabib. You never defended either belt. I just don't understand how you.
I know, and it's sad, but you're right. He should no. If we gonna stand on business, he ain't never gonna be goated. But what he did for the company and for the business, everybody got to be grateful for.
He might be the greatest showman.
Yes, for sure.
Are we talking about like greatest in-cage fighter? Nah. Too
bad.
So,
you know.
Since we were talking about Jones and McGregor, who do you think Dana likes more? You don't got to
I mean, regardless though, it's about the person that's gonna make him the most dough right now. And obviously Conor ain't coming back no time soon. He gonna keep playing with Michael Chandler on Twitter, you know what I'm saying, making little small videos and you know and just trolling my mans. But if Dana felt like Conor McGregor was coming back, Dana would be definitely pushing Conor right now. You know what I mean? Making every excuse in the book on why we should still be paying attention and focusing on Conor. That's what he did, but that ain't what he doing. Right? So right now he on John Jones because John Jones actually has the capability of coming back. But at the end of the day, that's not the fight that we want to see. You know, but they gonna lock in with whatever numbers that they feel like is gonna make the most. And they feel like John Jones beating Stipe is what's gonna sell. So yeah, Dana really on Johnson. Yeah.
Right. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think Conor gonna come back no time soon. If you do, it's just sporadic. You know, I think that John Jones, his next fight gonna be the last one, so you got to make that bag. So John Jones, whenever they can put him out. So yeah, of course, I think just the interest for John Jones right now is higher than Conor for sure.
I think Chandler came out and said he just gave up on it. He's like,
he did. I mean, he should.
He wasted years of his career.
Man, that is crazy, bro. And like I said, Conor still playing with that motherfucker too. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about.
I saw that.
Yeah, he's like, man, keep playing. I'm gonna bounce that champ head upside, and he gonna put a little champ hat on. He don't even say nothing, but like, it's just like, just Mike, just leave it alone, bro. Like he.
Yeah, didn't
like,
he say? Didn't Conor say that it's not gonna happen for you?
It's like that pretty girl. You know how it's like that pretty girl that just keep teasing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
as soon as you stop caring about it.
Yeah, now she wanna like, come on, you know you want some. But as soon as you try to get back on it, she like, nah, I ain't gonna give you none. Like, God damn, boy, stop playing with me like that. So stop teasing me.
So where does Chandler go?
What?
Where should he do?
He needs to move on and fight somebody else. That's it. You know, they try. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they was gonna bless him. They was gonna bless him with a title shot against Islam, which he don't deserve whatsoever. But you know, if that's the route to you, that's how you bring. Be honest with you, no cap, right? Michael Chandler, that's the only way that you bring Conor back is if you able to achieve that belt. If you able to touch that belt. But Islam finna
He's not touching Islam.
Boy, Islam finna spin Michael Chandler around, dog.
It's just funny because I just don't think Mike's ability to fight is without question a great fighter. But if you look at his actual career in the UFC, it's like been like 50-50 damn near.
Yeah.
So like he has to decide. Like,
matter of fact, let's stop the cap. How many fights he got?
I think 5.
What's his record?
I want to say
3-2.
He beat Tony.
Beat Tone.
Dan Hooker beat him. Lost to Gagey. Lost to Poirier. And then lost to Charles Oliveira.
Yeah. He 2-3. He 2-3. God damn, boy.
I think it's something like that for sure.
You kind of get a Bellator booster pack though. That's
you
the
think
thing.
So?
I mean, look at
I can't from Bellator.
Hold on, let me stop.
I ain't get no boost.
The thing about but you got to be real. When Gagey first came over, Gagey was undefeated and all that. He kind of experienced a similar thing where you just thrown to the wolves when you are that level of fighter. So one thing with Michael Chandler, he started out fighting the best guys. He didn't start out fighting unranked guys in the UFC, but he has to make that decision for himself. Do I want to be champion or do I just want money fights? Because you could do Chandler versus Kobe Covington. I think that fight would sell. You could do Chandler a bunch of people and it would sell. But do he want to be champ?
He on a time limit though.
But do he want to be champ?
That's the question.
You haven't fought nobody in a while. Yeah. The guys who are at the top, unfortunately, they still at the top.
Yes.
Gagey's still there.
Yeah. Dustin Poirier's
still there. You still got Islam and you still got Oliveira who spun you around, or you know what I'm saying, who finished you. So it's like,
and Armin, he waiting on that belt.
So it's only gotten harder. He just got to figure out if he want to be champ or not. And then you call out one of those big guys. Because I think anybody would see him fight a top-ranked guy. Why not? It would sell, it would do numbers, but you got to decide if he want to be champ or if he just want money.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Then you got a question in the Discord from Khabib's burner phone. The question is, are there any prospects from STL that Buck wants to shed a light on? Or, I mean, Edric, too, if you want to.
We just shot him out, but my man Marabek, Troyev, definitely gonna be seeing him real soon. He making some moves, where he making some moves at, and I think it's gonna be the best situation for him. And y'all definitely gotta watch out for that kid when he come out, because he definitely gonna be showing out when he come to the UFC one day.
I mean, I think the same guys we on the pod, like Marabek, excuse me, and then we had Charles on and we had Evan Elder. I think that's it. Sean Woodson as well, we got some good guys. That's probably it.
Yeah.
All right, that's it from me. I mean, unless you want to talk about, I just wanted to know, how big do you see Karate Combat getting? Because I just see it I see it more than Power Slap, and I kind of see that's what Power Slap wants to be, is just have all those celebrities, the real celebrities. They had the Haktua girl out there. They got
No, they got my man
Mike Maylock.
I don't want to mess up my man's name, but I met him in over there at the Goat Shed in Miami, and he pretty much is the promoter of all that over there. I think it's Azam or something.
I don't think it's gonna do nothing. I'm gonna be real with you.
It's doing this thing.
It's cool. It's a niche It's a niche sport in a niche market. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like it can be successful, but is it ever gonna be to the level of the UFC? I don't see it competing or contending. That's what I'm saying. I think it has this place and it gives fighters an alternative to traditional MMA, and I think people are messing with it, but I think it's just one of those things. I don't know. I've seen a lot of promotions come and go in my time, and I'm not wishing anybody bad, but there's been a lot of different promotions for MMA and MMA-based stuff that just don't exist today. So before I'm going to stamp it and say it's going to be here, we just got to give it time.
That's true. And they've been around for a minute, though. I'm going to tell you that. They've been around for a minute, obviously with George St. Pierre promoting it, Boz Ruden promoting it. I think they've been established since 2016 or something like that, something crazy. But, they're almost reaching that little 10-year mark, a lot of promotions, man, once they get started, bro, we only see them about a good 2-3 years, and then they disappear in the wind, But with Karate Combat, the reason why they doing so well is because they collabing with so many different people. So it's not just the Karate Combat alone, but they doing the jiu-jitsu tournaments. They doing the wrestling tournaments. They bringing in influencers like Haktua, you know what I'm saying, Speed, no, for real, but
I know, it's funny, you say Shorty there, you say Haktua.
Haktua, I don't know that, I don't know Shorty name, Spit on that thing. But regardless, though, you see them collabing with all these different influences, and that's what kind of builds they market up. At the end of the day, this is the type of promotion that, you might not pay no little pay-per-view for it, man, but you're going to see it on all of the stream. You're going to see it on your phone, on Instagram. You're going to see it on TikTok. They doing numbers, and that's how I believe they promotion stay alive, by using pretty much these platforms, to get as much viewership as possible. So, they ain't trying to be the UFC. I don't think they even trying to, compete with the UFC.
No.
What they doing, they got a niche market, like you said before, and they got a little cult following that people definitely are just going to bring that attention to them,
No, I feel you. And all I was just saying is I like what they're doing as far as some of the fights, but it seems similar to a lot of the promotions in the UFC where it's a lot of guys who fought in the UFC who are just not in the UFC anymore. Like you got Luke Grasso fought over there, Sam Alvey, or who?
Even my boy Antonio Arroyo.
Yeah, it's a bunch of guys who are just like, and that model just hasn't necessarily been the best. Like, as far as business wise, a lot of those similar promotions, like Bellator, like they just had to merge. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things that just eventually happen. So I'm not.
But I think the reason why it's doing so much better than a lot of those other, it's just like even with bare knuckle boxing, right? You see bare knuckle boxing numbers going up because it's something different, right? You're not taking these same fighters like Bellator, right? And you taking the UFC, product or less of, because the reason, if the UFC want to keep it, they going to keep it, right? Period. So they pretty much getting rid of people that they don't want anyway, and then you try to get the, the bottom of the barrel, as they might put it. And that's what people don't want to see, because obviously that these guys, when they fight or when you see them either at the PFL or in Bellator, it's just like, man, I'm kind of watching like the B level. That's how they feel, right? These motherfuckers done got cut. They done got removed from the biggest promotion in the world, and now I feel like I'm watching the lesser competition. Even though sometimes I don't always feel that way.
True.
But that's how people in their perspective see it when they see these UFC guys coming over and then fighting for Bellator. But the reason why karate combat and bare knuckle boxing is so different is because you're seeing them do different things, It's not mixed martial arts. It's completely different in its own form, in its own fighting. So it's kind of like it's like a unique thing, to see a fighter be a part of. Like seeing Chad Mendez, in bare knuckle boxing, versus Eddie Alvarez. That's crazy. Never would imagine that I would even see something like that, right? So to see these guys like Luke Rockhold go over to karate combat, and do his thing. Like, these are the things that you couldn't imagine because you can only see them doing mixed martial arts, MMA.
Thank you for watching this episode of Brick Brothers Podcast. If you haven't already, make sure you like, share, and subscribe our content. We really appreciate that. And make sure you follow our new page, Brick Brothers Podcast.